blue side, actually. You get a lot of different picks you can take out. Red side is almost always banning the same 2 champions, so blue team gets some flexibility and kind of gets initiative in the draft. So we'll see what happens here in our champ select for the 3rd game. Ryze banned from P1, LeBlanc, Camille, Rengar, probably banned for TSM. So where do Phoenix1 look for ban number 2?
The Maokai Ivern were the ones previously.
Does Fly believe in his preparation?
I love his notebook.
Or does he want to mix it up? It's great. That's style, as there's Maokai. So tree 1 down.
Looks like a bit like a planner. All right, I got a 5 o'clock, then 2 p.m. beat TSM, 5 o'clock, dinner.
It's somewhere in the 2 p.m. penciled in the draft. He's like, yeah, this'll do. That's definitely how he prepares. There's Shen actually there for Phoenix1, so good intuition, Zirene. Blue side Shen ban.
Yeah, no Ivern being banned out there. As a TSM, you expect the Rengar as the last ban.
Don't think TSM have surprises. No, they do not.
First pick, Kha'Zix. What you expect to be on the board here.
Zig's gonna have some fun. I mean, Jayce is a consideration as well.
Oh.
Actually locked in here.
Wow, so they're putting a lot on the shoulders of Zig. He has stepped up before, but now there isn't that pesky Shen to play against it and actually turn around the matchup later in the game. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, 2 tanks banned for Phoenix1. Seems first pick Jayce. Maybe unexpected here for TSM. We'll see how they respond. Hauntzer looking for this first pick in phase 1.
You expect, based off tier list, that it's Varus and Kha'Zix, but they've passed up the Varus before in favor of the Jhin.
They're going to take Kahi, which does make sense. We'll see if they want to make a safe AD carry pick. Probably not that one. Although technically, I suppose a marksman. Sven's having some fun though.
Yeah, already has the Kha'Zix locked in, so it won't be a jungle pick. I expect the Varus based off tier list, but would go over to Arrow, and yeah, there you go.
All right, that makes sense. I was thinking, they did ban it. They want to take it away. I feel like TSM somewhat intentionally avoided the pick in the first game. Maybe didn't want it. Maybe don't feel as comfortable with Turtle on it. And he did have a good Ashe game in game 2 there as well. So I think that change worked out. But I think TSM know what everyone else does. You cannot give the best Varus in the LCS that champion.
Exactly. Whether you're banning it away like they did in game 2 or picking it for yourself.
Ooh!
Inori. Ivern, okay, the green daddy for Inori. That's interesting because this is somebody we expect to be aggressive, to be up in the faces of the enemy. This is going to be strange.
I mean, he's still going to be in their face, but it's just going to be in a quirky way. And it's funny, like, we kind of wondered where all the Ivern went. I asked Bjergsen when I interviewed him, it's like, have you guys been practicing Ivern? He kind of gave me a look. He's like, of course I've been practicing Ivern. This champion's so strong. But for whatever reason, teams just haven't felt to bring it out until this week. So Inori going to take it. It's one of those things where you're right, it doesn't really suit his personality, but certainly a powerful champion is Misfortune, the newly flexible Misfortune.
And I think it is going to go AD carry. I think this is a AD carry Misfortune because it'll provide a black cleaver for everybody else on the team. Ulti will shred it so you can run an all physical damage team if you want. Get a Corki for yourself for some magic damage mid lane. But up against Varus, when Varus doesn't have a support that provides him with sustain, it becomes a very difficult matchup because the Misfortune will both punish whatever Zyra or Malzahar you have and is a good matchup into the Varus.
I like this pick as well from TSM. Kind of forced to take a top laner here. Wanted a tank, so we'll take Poppy over the likes of Nautilus because I think the matchup feels a little bit better. I mean, it's never going to feel great against Jayce. He's pretty good at smashing people 1v1, but TSM will take what they can get. Now we'll see what happens in ban phase 2. It's been a curious start to the draft already, and TSM continuing to focus attention on support bans as Malzahar is taken away.
They definitely think as well that it is a Misfortune as an AD carry, because of how well it's done into the Varus. And I think we'll be seeing more and more of that. The Deathfire Touch, Lethality, Misfortune does not completely counter, but it does a ton of damage, and it's able to actually deal with tanks too, because all the other AD carries don't buy Black Cleaver. She does.
Yeah, and more notable here is that Ryu has not had an early pick mid laner, so we'll see if TSM continue to ban out supports. We've got Syndra banned by Phoenix1, showing attention there to the mid lane. There is the Zyra ban from TSM, so it might be pinching support. Again, given that they likely think it's not support Misfortune, and with the 2 things he's good against banned away, that's probably pretty likely. Phoenix1 though, 15 seconds. I'm guessing another mid laner. Maybe they take Corki. Maybe they want Corki. Don't expect TSM to pick it and take Cassio away. Maybe they're worried about Echo. There's actually so much to worry about here for Phoenix1, and they do take the Corki away.
Because that would be the safe blind pick here. So now you pick your support if you're TSM.
Yep.
Go down that tier list.
Give Bjergsen the counter pick once again. He's just...
Actually, yeah, okay.
Okay, unless you want Orianna, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking like Cassiopeia is what you would want to play if you're Ryu, considering the bans. So that actually makes a lot of sense. So now you get to figure out, before you see where this the Misfortune's going, you get to figure out, you know, what their bottom lane looks like. Who is their support? Is it the AMF? What can we play into it here? Okay. Would that be what they take?
Maybe. I mean, Arrow could be the double bluff from Phoenix1.
Yeah, it could be.
I like what you illustrated about the Orianna pick for TSM. It's something we haven't talked about too much in draft, but it's existed since even before the 6-ban system. It's a blocker pick here for TSM. You take a pick that you expect to do well into the lane matchup of Cassio, and now it's taken away. Phoenix1, no, they have pulled a bit of a trick here, and there's Ashe. Unless that's Ashe support, and it's a real kooky world. Looks like we're actually very heavily flexing the Misfortune. So some wasted bans, arguably, on the TSM side. I saw the Azir, that's been a common pick into the Orianna, but...
it's a Jayce mid.
All right, there we go.
It's the flex.
The double, triple, fluffy flex.
It's the Phoenix1 bamboozle all over the place.
And Biofrost is like, Spellcard's like, no. We're taking Thresh.
Nope, not happening. So yeah, now it's the Misfortune, which is most likely support the Jayce top, or Jayce in mid, and then the top lane Rumble. So this is the physical damage on the bottom half of the map, and then they have the magic damage in top. It's a miserable matchup for the Poppy. And now Jayce into the Orianna does have a bit of kill pressure, and they have great range later on.
It's kind of the last time we'll see it for this year as well, so I do want to bring the coach matchup once again. I love that we had a very standard draft in game 1, where Phoenix1 maybe came out a little better with the Shen. TSM, I'll say, pretty heavily outdrafted Phoenix1 in game 2. And Pass kind of pretty happy about pulling one over Fly, and Fly pulls out the wackiest double flex, double bluff draft I've seen in a little while.
Yeah, they banned supports on TSM side, so they definitely just said, okay, we'll just ban supports because that's something that, you know, we'll try to pinch that pool. And they didn't even take a support for themselves, right? Because they could have just banned one, banned a mid laner, then went for first pick Zyra or something on the second phase. Instead, they need to know, they have to know, so they play it safe.
It's a reason I love me some Coach Fly drafts. That was a pretty nice stroke of genius there from the man. So we'll see what happens as far as the play goes, of course. I think Phoenix1 have set themselves up well lane-wise, but TSM's comp is very strong. They've got good champions. It's very straightforward team fight. Should have a lot of tools to succeed here, but Phoenix1 have mixed it up completely. More of a carry there for Zig. Ivern for Inori, which is almost the opposite of what he wants to do. And double marksman bottom lane's pretty fun. We'll see how that one works out for them. That's probably the most standard thing about the draft Phoenix1 have on offer.
Phoenix1, though, is 1-1 right now against TSM. They established themselves as a second-place team and the kryptonite of TSM. They have Fly, who bumped them out of Worlds. They have Inori and Zig, who stopped that perfect split. And this could be the start of it again, establishing an era.
Well, eyes will be on that jungler in particular. Inori skips his way towards the jungle and out onto Summoner's Rift. For our last match in our P1 TSM. TSM will go the distance once more. If they want another victory, they'll need to fight the longest path for it. P1 on the other side, like you said, not looking for an upset this time. They've established themselves as a real strong team, but they would love to take full command of that second place spot, at least over TSM, who had such a good showing last year.
Yep. They want to get wards down, get deep wards down, figure out where Svenskeren is starting, and so that Ivern can actually take away a camp and triple buff. There's a bit of a guessing game that happens. If Ivern starts bottom side of the map, top side, actually, this got warded by Hauntzer, which is good. And so what Inori did is he walked all the way around, and now he might blast cone over and wait for that, or he'll get in the bush, and he'll go from wolves. You can't know. You can't know. He's and you can see Svenskeren.
I can see him, and I don't know.
Yeah. You can see where Svenskeren is hanging out right now because he's doesn't want to be seen on the ward, and now he's spotted, and that's where Inori's going. Okay, bottom. He's gonna go Raptors to red to blue, but there's a ward right there in the river. And this is the other thing. Because you don't need a leash on Ivern, your top laner gets to go harass. Your top laner gets to possibly force his smite, get some damage down. And we'll see it force the smite as well, so yeah.
I mean, Inori looking weak right now, but that catches up quickly when you just steal away camps.
Let's see.
Sven's rushing his blue.
Buff to buff, yep. It will be a level 1 Ivern. He's gonna go over the wall here, and he's gonna wait for him to go over. And hello!
Very nice. Inori just can't finish the channel. That could be a kill, Svenskeren. Looking for the first blood. Flashes! Oh no, it's their first blood!
Perfect setup there from TSM to counter the Ivern. They knew that was the plan. They placed down the ward in that pixel brush. They saw him coming, and he didn't even start the blue to set him up. Just said, all right, you're going to come over, you're going to take that Q.
We're on that stuff here, but Zig and Hauntzer talked about Poppy maybe feeling okay about Jayce in the lane. Rumble is rough for a melee champion.
Very, very rough. And that's what they did, is they flexed things around. They flexed the Jayce to try and get this better matchup in the top lane. Is Hauntzer, player of the game last time. Inori, to be quite honest, this won't disrupt him too much. He has the smite available, so he'll go over to his blue buff, and he'll be able to pick that up. But this is a game that Svenskeren could destroy. This Kha'Zix, against everybody who's squishy, that's a paradise right there.
It is. P1 going to have to play the comp carefully as we check in with the bottom lane. It's been pretty fun to watch Arrow Adrian versus Turtle Biofrost. Arrow, very confident AD carry. It feels like 2v2. P1 have got the edge. Turtle last game was able to keep up in CS and get ahead with all the sideline pressure, and Ryu is now pressuring Bjergsen as well. It's the other feature of the draft that was so good looking from P1 is that they found 2 solo lane advantages. You know, Bjergsen, he's on Orianna, he'll be fine, but Ryu is always going to have the aggressive edge here. And Sven, called up by the caller. Ryu just leaps over immediately with the flash. He wanted it all.
Ooh, he leaped over with the flash to try and take the Q from Inori to actually just gap close, but the leap came out from Svenskeren in time before a Q could come in through from Ryu and actually deal damage. Exhaust got used there too, so those are both summoners out of Ryu for nothing.
Good news there for Bjergsen, who's going to have both his mobility summoners up and is definitely taking the wrong end of the trades, which is expected. Playing here is Jayce, but we'll see if Bjergsen can just keep things even. He is doing so right now, and there's Arrow pushing up to that turret. Where did Adrian get off to? Actually warding around, taking the blast cone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Supports, when they invade, they will actually try to kill every plant they can. Because they saw Svenskeren on the top side of the map go in, put down a ward on a camp that you expect to be spawning quite soon, take both the Scryer's Bloom and the blast cone, so they don't have anything to scout you or gank you from a clever route.
You can see the TSM fans out in force as far as fan votes go, but P1 certainly garnered a lot of fans last year, picking up speed when they upset TSM. And now establishing themselves as a top team, but how top, I suppose.
That's true. How
top 4 or top 2? That's a pretty big difference.
There is. And this is those big tests right now. I mean, Ryu, he said he hadn't played against any really great mid laners. He's going up against Bjergsen now. And with this flexibility in the draft, coming out a little bit on top. He's actually playing a little bit too far to the top side, but yep, there's Ivern.
Yeah, right behind Svenskeren. Sven's like, I don't want this. Rushmaker.
Put him in a bush.
Q gonna miss, tried to lead. There's the ball as well for Sven, so he'll feel pretty safe. Bjergsen out of mana, gonna have to run all the way back though. And maybe even not feel too safe to stick around. We'll see what he wants to do. I think he's waiting, kind of seeing what the movements are. Might take this last wave. Probably expecting Rhea to go back, particularly if he's going for a tier.
Yeah. If it is a tier, we'll see, but I assume it's a serrated dirt. Or if he's going for a black cleaver build, which you could go for. I don't think it's great in the Orianna matchup, but I think it's a serrated dirt.
Yeah, cool. Bjergsen though, kind of using the IQ, knowing that, okay, Ryu probably wants to back here, so find space after hiding in the brush. Good stuff. Ryu though, back nice and strong. And I mean, Jayce, we talked about it in the top lane. Very strong 1v1. That does not change in the mid lane.
No, it does not. Or else you'd be playing mid laners against him top in TP, and then you'd be fine. But yeah, he obliterates a lot of these matchups. Orianna, you don't purchase armor items either, so it's even worse than it was before, because you have the precision mastery, now you have the serrated dirk. You just deal so much damage to those mid laners who don't want to pick up like a Seeker's Arm Guard, or you want the Lost Chapter. You even saw Bjergsen struggling to wave clear and running out of mana while doing so.
Yep, does have that now, so should feel a little better, but can't take trades like that from Ryu. As the shot block going to help out. Bjergsen now level 6, man is going to come back up. And he's kind of expected this, and Inori, knowing this, consistently moving into the Raptors and taking them away. There's just really nothing Svenskeren or Bjergsen can do about it.
Yeah, and now Inori, he's smited. He's got 20 seconds on his smite left. It's looking like Hauntzer about half HP top. If they can get a poke on him, then it's definitely a go for.
Sven's here, but he's not quite there.
And there it is, behind the back of the turret, so he can't hide.
Good equalizer. Hauntzer with the ult. He kicks Inori out. That's a good start. Ryu actually going to get collapsed on Svenskeren. He fancies the 1v1 and almost takes it out, but a knockback from the hammer is going to move them out. Great defense, TSM.
You saw there, Hauntzer was thinking about flash eating over the wall and trying to hit Ryu in, but the exhaust is up soon and decides not to take that chance.
You can see Hauntzer just doing everything he can to try and keep the lane afloat. It is rough here versus especially blasting one first rumble, but Hauntzer doing well so far. Gonna take what creeps he can under the turret. He hasn't fallen too far behind in CS just yet.
Looking at the bottom side of the map and what Svenskeren was doing during all that time, he had backed and he started clearing out some camps. and went to his top side, so he did secure his red buff. His blue is about to come up, and they got all of these wards down in the Phoenix1 bot side jungle. So during that time when they saw Ivern top, they were able to actually get tabs on what Ivern's movements were. They're going to try going for this blue buff. It'll be up in a few seconds here. Ivern takes it instantaneously. He's right there on time. He's just going to take it.
Yahtzee. Inori just waddles away with it.
Yep, but his blue buff isn't up for a while now. And he's still not 6. He's so close to 6. He just needs to kind of kill one camp or leech something away.
Well,
oh, yeah, Jayce really wants to get that blue buff.
yeah, he's like, I'm going over.
Ryu's like,
I'm going.
all right.
Use flash. Oh, he doesn't have it.
Candy.
Okay, that's how that works.
Piece of candy. Gets
Delicious. Might cost him his life, though. Hey, a blue buff. Svenskeren gonna jump on him. There's the shockwave. Can they donate it over to Bjergsen? He really wants it. No, Sven gets it instead.
Sven did a great job of just going straight through mid lane and getting onto the right side. Normally, it's like, all right, nobody passed through mid during that time. Complete control there, and that's going to be Svenskeren picking up that blue buff.
Really smart brain power there from TSM. Again, it's difficult to outplay Ivern. It's such a different jungle champion, particularly with the early pathing. But TSM, you know, they've clearly been practicing it. They were the first team to bring it out in the NALCS.
Yeah.
And kind of showing that, you know, Svenskeren maybe outplaying the aggressive junglers, not so much, but can certainly outthink Inori.
Yeah. Knowing exactly what he wanted, getting in his head and figuring out, all right, I want to be on that side. And with Ryu there, Ryu just took a really unsafe path back, and he used his acceleration gate too far forward. The Jayce combos, you typically throw out a Q, and then you acceleration gate while it's in mid-air, so that it'll fly, and like you're like, all right, that one's going to hit, and then you throw it, right? Whereas there, it was just too far away from him. Really good Jayces, you put it right in your face and you throw it out, but he wasn't able to get a movement speed boost afterwards.
Who's going to start up the passive on the Scuttle Crab? Might look to take that away. Bjergsen feeling a bit better about the blue buff parity, although Ryu has a red buff now.
Yeah, he picked up the red buff. Ivern just duplicates buffs on the second round of buffs. Not the first one, but the second time. He just leaves a candy on the ground with this skin, or normally just leaves the buff by itself.
Well, this is speaking of things junglers can do.
Yep, the
pretty
solo.
easy solo from Kha'Zix.
Evolved Claws gives you the ability to just kill this 1 second cooldown on your Q. Yeah. Balance at its finest, so.
Does have his smite. He's going to use it there just to make sure. And then look to take that Scuttle Crab down as well. Checking back into the bottom lane, WildTurtle actually up CS here.
Yeah, WildTurtle's doing a good job in this matchup. The Varus has a little bit more poke, so you have to avoid it as opposed to the Jhin, not as much. And Ryu here, looking at Svenskeren, sees him. Chunks him for about half there, and you can see Inori on the left side may actually be willing to pick a fight in a moment here, depending on how Bjergsen postures.
Well, Shockwave going to go wide. Bjergsen with the early soak. Shoes looking good for a bit of extra mobility, if nothing else. And Bjergsen again, got about a 10 CS lead there as well. Hauntzer also behind about 15, but he's been okay there on the top side so far. Zig kind of winning as expected. Hauntzer's taking his lumps and collecting whatever CS feels safe.
And you were saying we don't really consider Zig a top lane carry player, but I think like his history would say that he does actually favor those. He just doesn't play them because playing top lane carries requires you to know all the matchups and timings to a T. In tank matchups, you don't always have to know it. You just have to know, okay, I'm fighting the wave more than I'm fighting the enemy. When can I push in and when can I not push in and then roam? Whereas now you actually have to just fight and exploit the champion. Because if you ever let up on a tank, you just gave them so much room that they're not supposed to get in a matchup.
Biofrost, I think we're trying to scan out some wards, but lucky not get himself killed. Hauntzer, Charge of the Colossus going to proc in, yeah. You can see Spectre Scale's helping out a lot, but Rumble still does good damage, especially when overheated. Hauntzer, though, is standing his ground, and Sven's coming.
Yep, Sven's coming up. It's like this Poppy is really in his face. Might have to ulti to clear out the wave, make sure he doesn't get dove, because here comes the...
Can't see everything. They're going for
he overheated.
The slam, that's one! Hauntzer flashes out, and another kill for Sven.
Exactly, didn't see that coming, even though we had Bjergsen moving from the mid lane, and you have Hauntzer playing so aggressive as a Poppy. The ultimate has to come down a lot earlier than that.
Whee!
Arrow comes
Little late.
Zig overheated before he got the ultimate out. Could have been a kill, could have been a way to stop it, and he wasn't able to do anything, not even flash there.
WildTurtle just uses ulti. He's going 1v1 mode.
Don't know what Arrow was doing there. I think Arrow might have been...
Svenskeren, he's invisible! Lands in, goodbye. Get a chunk onto Adrian.
It seemed like Arrow was looking at the map as opposed to looking at what he was doing in lane.
WildTurtle will take it. He's just going to try and chunk him out. Arrow has to be careful. Little wide on that one for Turtle, but again, going to continue growing that lead. He does have the early Ghostblade built up already, so doing good damage early. We expect AShe to kind of fall behind at least in early DPS. Usually you can control the lane, but it seems like the aggressive Thresh support pick helped out there as well. And WildTurtle, even 1v1, doing some work on his own.
Yeah. And the AShe requires about 2 items to turn online, whereas the lethality builds are so popular because they feel really good at 1 and 2 items. And then from there, it doesn't feel as great, but they still feel really good when you get those arrows on the backline. That's why Varus is just so popular.
Adrian and Arrow going to keep pushing this one out. WildTurtle did go back. Actually has a tier as well, which is as expected. Blue buff this time over to Bjergsen. And now he's got to go back. Might have the Morellonomicon finished already. And I really like this from Ryu, actually. Yeah. Edge of Night first, which thinking about it makes sense for mid lane Jayce, but it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, the Edge of Night, make sure that he can go in, pop it before he trades. But Bjergsen up about half a level right now over Ryu. So even if Ryu went in to trade, it is really bold to do so.
No Morello just yet either. Kind of see how efficient Edge of Night is gold value-wise, despite the slight CS differential. And Hauntzer going his weight around a bit more now.
Yeah,
level 10 to level 9. He's got a Sheen, actually.
He got the Sheen for damage, slapped. Trying to actually push him out of the lane. And the matchup is just rubber banded back. And I was saying, like, carry top laners, you have to know the ins and outs of all the matchups here. And the fact that Zig was winning it, now he's a little bit behind. The CS is now comparable. They're pretty much even.
Yep, has to ult the wave. He's like, please, no more Svenskeren.
No more diving. Please, no.
And now going to recall as well. He does have teleport. Smart stuff overall from Zig. As Inori. Svenskaren's going to fight him. Nope, too late. Recall going to miss. That makes the funniest sound.
I love it when he smacks stuff when he auto-attacks it and he's not in a bush, because when he's in a bush, he does like a limp-wristed
well,
a lot of damage.
Opened up on Latin's going to help. Good assist there from Biofrost.
But yeah, when Ivern auto-attacks, it's just kind of almost like an Elise auto-attack where it's just like, oh, there you go, and it like floats over there. But when he's in melee and he doesn't have that extra range, he just hits it. That's great.
Well, here comes the dive. Inori over. Brush made. Whee! Looking for the turret instead.
Trying to get it. Top lane is going to go down a little bit faster, though, so TSM first turret.
Gonna lose the race here. Turret gold over to Hauntzer, and Svenskeren is nice for a bit extra. You can see already Turtle and Biofrost moving towards mid lane. Might find a pick here, perhaps. Although they have been spotted, so a little unlikely. Edge of Night's gonna make it even harder, but we'll see how much TSM want to commit for this. A lot. Biofrost is in there. Looking for the hook, doesn't get it. Bjergsen turns him off with the ball. Sven here as well. They might try and do this play again. Yeah,
but there are 4 people mid lane doing damage. Gonna clear out that minion wave. Goodbye, Ryu.
Adrian took a chunk, and they know he doesn't have ulti. TSM might hang around a little too long here and gonna hit the recalls. Sven actually on top of a ward. Bad news. Recall's gonna hit him. Buffer the jump out. Inori gonna keep going, but there's the shockwave. Goodbye, Inori.
Sometimes you just gotta take the tree sin Q. You just gotta go in. Took it in, got shockwaved. That was Bjergsen just hiding out in the weeds, and Inori, you're the one who's actually super squishy. He slapped in Daisy, but no, it doesn't matter. You're the one that actually gets blown up.
Important to note, Daisy very tanky. Ivern, not so much.
You need that bodyguard. I mean, Inori, we talked about how he's the guy who's going to try to make the play. He's been making plays that are actually costing him. He's a very risky jungler. Svenskeren, 100% KP, 3 kills. Just before that assist went over to him, and Bjergsen got that kill. Svenskeren had been doing work. Svenskeren had all of the kills.
And another
fed Kha'Zix.
Drake solo here from Sven. Really is putting in the work. Biofrost here for an assist. Bjergsen's like, yep, have a ball. Why not? And that's the second Drake there for TSM. A mountain is very nice.
Yeah, now you're getting to the point of the game where you're wondering about that Jayce first pick. Was that really worth it to give over this Kha'Zix that's just been working so well here?
4 people top lane. I think Hauntzer might have some idea that they want to rotate here, but
yeah.
Yep, he's like, yep, leaving. I'm leaving.
Yeah, because there's nobody bottom lane. That bot lane turret was already taking some damage from being pushed up. So, when WildTurtle and Biofrost start calling that, you know, Arrow and Adrian aren't here, you definitely play back top. So Hauntzer did that right. Backs up. They have momentum, though. They can actually push for another turret here.
They've already
but
pulled
they didn't check the top bush. They didn't check the top bush. Hauntzer's in there. He's gonna back
arrow. Biofrost back arrow. He's dead.
Oh, Sven.
He's going to be okay. Death by touch and a bit of shield there.
You got to check that bush. You have so many tools to do so as well. And Hauntzer just hung out in there, and Phoenix1 get punished.
They might even lose mid here as well. TSM did early work on this turret. You can see how damaged it is just to the far left of the screen. And Biofrost looking for a pick. Might get picked himself. Root caller on. Equalizer down. Goodbye, Bio.
Yep, he had flash, but he just got rooted. Long duration there. And checking Inori right now. He's actually maxing it second, so it's not that root collar max first, but it's enough. And he decides not to blow the flash. He's probably already dead. He'll get chased down.
Svenskeren might catch Inori here, though. Oh, he's looking for it. Inori, oh, he's caught! Daisy's there. Shot both lands in. Sven wants to finish it off. Doesn't commit for it. Daisy wouldn't work. WildTurtle with a snipe, though. Missed the ulti, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think he thought the snipe was going to get him, so just threw out the ultimate there for extra insurance. The flash out of Inori, though, and that's Bjergsen caught.
Stunned. That's big damage. Arrow able to take him out there as Ryu leaps on top of him. WildTurtle flashes out, but that's not enough. A double kill for the Ashe.
And Phoenix1 trying to get back in there. Only 2,000 gold down now. They don't have a minion wave to push mid, but they do have the wave clear superiority, and that's going to be them trying to actually get some control of this jungle. They don't have the jungler.
Oh, good sweep from Adrian. Hook not going to land, a little out of range, but I like the angle from Biofrost. Svenskeren still wants in. He looks for Arrow, trying to take him down. Isolation damage is enough. Wants a double again. Dive the turret. See you later.
5 kills for Svenskeren. He's popping off. I said at the start.
Oh,
wait, he got out of there.
Biofrost, you god! Saves his jungler, prevents the shutdown, and makes it look good.
Well, that's where Svenskeren has to call him Bio Daddy for a day, because that was a sick save to keep that KDA. Those 5 kills for Svenskeren, and I said at the beginning of the game that this could be a Kha'Zix paradise with all of the squishy targets. You don't really care too much about Daisy, but all of these squishy targets comes out of the bush. They saw him for a brief second, but Arrow doesn't have flash, doesn't have a way to get out, and he was just too far up. Adrian had spotted the Kha'Zix, and they didn't respect the fact that he would be able to gap close there. He doesn't even have evolved wings or anything like that, but they still don't respect it. And this.
Oh, Edge of Night drops.
Oh, that's so good.
I'd be so mad if that happened to me.
You mad? You tilted?
That would be.
You have to actually hit the ground for two disguise to deal damage, so it interrupts it. There are some abilities that will still go through regardless. But that's one that also you can flash away from because it's player targeted. You have to target a champion or a minion, etc. But it actually targets the ground.
Well, P1 going to try and get the push happening, but Bjergsen is back with a needlessly large rod to join in the Morellonomicon. He did manage to finish up. And TSM looking pretty healthy on items and also in gold. 4,000 gold up, sub 20 minutes with 2 good Drakes to their name as well. You can see the leads there.
Yeah.
Hauntzer again looking good, but Svenskeren's got the biggest lead.
Yeah, this is why I thought Ivern wouldn't be seeing too much play from a lot of the aggressive junglers in North America because you just get so far behind if you try to play the same way that you normally do. And then this happens where that's honestly a Kha'Zix taking a blue buff about as fast as the Ivern would with the smite combo after releasing it. So we see a lot of high skill junglers. We're talking about all our rookies like Acadian contracts doing well on carries. For the Ivern, it's a new skill set, different one.
It is. And they're going to try some sort of push here. Setting up some brush, looking for a pick perhaps. Ryu has the poke ready to go. This is, I mean,
yep.
the Varus isn't there, but this has kind of been what Ivern does strengthen. A lot of the poke and seed style comps. I mean, look at Ryu just firing away from the brush.
Yeah, because you can't see where the poke is coming from. You just set up brushes where there shouldn't be bush there.
No, should not. Thankfully, Ivern makes some as TSM looking to push down just yet. Still with a turret advantage, that mid lane auto is good for them. So they managed to take that one away. And again, the gold lead is looking nice. They're going to just manicure these side waves and try not to get poked down too low. TSM probably lining up with that Ocean Drake up in 55 seconds.
Yep, and Svenskeren is becoming a big problem.
Good hook.
Here we go again. Tons of damage.
Be a kill. Inori just can't survive it.
Yeah, he's dying in the cast time of Daisy and the redemption. He used the redemption.
Oh, Bjergsen, total though. There's the assist for the Siphon. Bjerg wants to still has the ulti, looks for arrow ball position, not quite there, but the push on turret will be.
And this is TSM just taking everything they can to jungle. You no longer have any priority in your jungle at all. You've lost your jungle, you've lost your lanes. That's both buffs being contested by TSM because they have a fed Kha'Zix at 6-0 and 3. And this Ivern, it is just becoming worse and worse for Inori.
Look at the preparation from Hauntzer. TSM planned it all. They have the way pushing in bottom lane. They'll take another turret. 2 kills, 2 turrets, 5 turrets to 2, and the gold lead getting massive.
Top. This might be Svenskeren making a play.
Ryu. Gonna exhaust him. Sven's gonna wait it out. He's got his flash. Can he look the outplay? Flashes out, and now does he dare go back in? He's got no ulti. He finds it slow, but he doesn't want to go too far.
Yep, he wants to pick up those minions. He may have been able to pick up a kill there because Ryu doesn't have the mana.
And with no jungle at TSM, gonna take their 3rd consecutive Drake of the game. Ocean number 2. Pretty nice when you're trying to defend against the poke comp.
Yep, and TSM, it's something about these game 3s. They've had every single win has been a 1-1 to start, and then they win that last one and go 2-1. And hold on.
Oh, Zig, Shockwave, back he goes! He flashed! That's a mess. Hauntzer picks up that kill. And the TSM are just making plays at every spot on the map right now.
Sucked back in there. Arrow has the Ashe arrow. Maybe looking for Turtle, but they're just going to keep pushing up. And oh boy, they found Svenskeren again.
But Sven, he actually leaps out towards the red
buff.
buff. Biofrost, you need to assist, he can't. There's the shutdown. Red buff going to go over to Ryu as well. Candy? No Candy, no. Candy to Inori, never mind.
That was a sick arrow from his namesake. That was crazy. Predicted that he would jump over the wall and fires it from around mid lane, and that's enough for them to follow up and get that first kill on Svenskeren. They desperately need. But now they're covering Baron Pit. They actually don't know for sure, and now they do because they've actually contested.
Waiting for a TP play, but Hauntzer's all the way in there. Ryu getting chunked down low already.
Turtle's out of position.
Turtle is, but he flashes over the wall. Zig trying to get in there. That's a good equalizer. Turtle getting burnt down. Will falls. Now Hauntzer slams Zig into the wall, but the damage is still there. The lantern's not enough to save him, and Hauntzer goes down to Inori. Daisy eats the next hook. Oh, but she's okay.
She's alive. She will regen it all up in just a moment here. She gets out of combat. No, he puts it back in. All right, keep Daisy safe. Protect her. Get your waves. Get your waves.
Yeah, good picks there from P1. TSM still control the map. P1 have big sidewave minions to deal with, so won't lose too much more there, but TSM tried something and P1 answered really well.
Yeah, Turtle's just out of position here, and that's a good TP from Zig from behind. And then Turtle's like, I have to fire this arrow somewhere because he doesn't want to be slowed when he's charging it up. He's still slowed. Gets killed by the ultimate from Zig. And then a good body block there from Daisy. People say she's kind of brain dead, but she definitely came in clutch.
She knew. Able to save the team there. So TSM still up, but the gold lead's diminished a little bit. It's dropped by, I think, 2,000 gold since we last checked in. 5K is still a nice lead, but and so are the Drakes that TSM have, but momentum stopped a little bit here. Blue buff going to go over. Things still looking good.
Yeah.
But P1 doing what they need to kind of keep this game afloat for themselves.
Yeah, TSM still have a bit of control. They have the side wave priority. They won't be doing anything like a 1-3-1 for a bit. Bjergsen will pick up side waves, and we'll have Hauntzer on the bottom side because he didn't use teleport. So that's what I think we'll see here is Zig needs to kind of stay with the main unit. They need to get control of Baron so it doesn't get taken. And they need to be able to contest Hauntzer on the bottom side without having a Baron being taken away. So that's really what Phoenix1 are trying to cover is bottom and Baron simultaneously without a teleport.
And P1 really need some sort of pick in order to get things going. They have a lot of damage and poke front-loaded into this team comp, but straight up team fights, you can kind of see why TSM wanted to force because they know they have the only tank really, unless you want to include Daisy. And as far as team fights go, TSM should win a straight up 5v5 they set up correctly. So you want to have to be a little careful and make sure that, you know, get them low, poke them away, or maybe even move them around the map. They don't have as many options as game one. It's a difficult to execute team comp, but certainly a strong one.
And now, because Zig is on the bottom side with no teleport, he has to clear the wave, run top side, and try to contest. So, like I said, cover bottom, but also cover Baron at the same time. Now, Hauntzer.
Zooming in with the help of Bjergsen. A great ball carrier is Poppy. Zig actually under threat as well. Edge of Night pop. Zig's going to get chunked on. That's good damage. And Zig gets taken by WildTurtle. Sven stunned, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, Sven does so much damage now with double lethality items. He is just shredding through people. In the isolated slow, that's the big thing, is it's an 80% slow when you have the evolved spike racks. When we were first seeing Kha'Zix, it was Q evolve and then E evolve, but the W evolve is just so much utility, so much slow. And here comes Daisy right in.
P1 going to try and fight for this Baron, but TSM got it low already. Hauntzer pretty tanky. They're going to have to take out Daisy. They will get it there, but they're going to pull off the Baron. They don't want to make it too risky. Still staying on there.
Looking for Arrow.
To zone them. He's going to chase Arrow away. Ryu's there with the poke. They need to be careful. They've actually found Arrow. Hauntzer might do it on his own. Arrow is there. Good damage from Bjergsen to follow up with a W.
The Poppy just moves so quickly, and he has the Iceborne Gauntlet on top of it. So once he's able to just get in range and throw the buckler at Arrow, he just can't escape.
Well, TSM going to keep moving. They've got to deal with the top lane, so they will reset and not get the Baron, but they get a smart pick. Don't overextend trying to go for the buff and lose it. And P1 4v5. Get another one picked up there. Can't defend.
Ryu. Looking for Turtle.
Poke
hit him.
Good hold there as well.
Got him in the lantern.
No hook from Biofrost this time.
Yeah, even though the To the Skies hits the ground, it still wasn't enough, and it still hit him. That's the turret going down, though.
Yep, turret's going to fall. P1 open up some pretty essential part of the map for themselves. Bjergsen dodges out from that shock blast. Arrow does have the arrow up. Not going to throw it straight down mid lane. And kind of talked about TSM's teamfighting comp. Arrow will scale nicely into those situations. So again, P1, it's not like they can't teamfight at all. It's just way harder because they have so many more squishies, and there's a big Kha'Zix.
Yeah, exactly. It's much harder. They have way more squishies. It's a big Kha'Zix, but also this Poppy's at the point where you don't kill her fast enough for you to actually survive in a one-on-one. So almost anybody pretty much just falls. And there's no Black Cleaver in sight either. Ryu is now buying the Phage because he went for the lethality items first up against Bjergsen. And now he's getting that Black Cleaver to try and help out. But actually, no, Adrian has one. Okay, so he did have enough gold already. Forgot about support items for a second.
Yep, support misfortune, you know.
The support Black Cleaver.
It's fine, we've seen that.
Gets me every time.
We've seen that for years. That was the Ocean Drake number 3 for TSM. 4th Drake overall. Gonna get an extra out of it as well. No Elder just yet, so TSM are really stacking up this objective.
Yeah. Some crazy controls of it as well, because they now have 3 Ocean Drakes. The poke doesn't matter. The Jayce hits you, and you'll just regen it back up in a siege situation. So P1, this happened to TSM the other day, and Bjergsen was talking about it where, nope, enemy team, they got 3 Ocean Drakes. We were poking them, and it didn't really work out.
P1 know that now attention will be turned to Baron. Do have good vision control around it. Lots of blue wards in the area, but TSM, they'll move through, they'll clean those out. They've got bottom lane pushing for them, although Zig is going to add to that right now. TSM don't need much here to really break this game wide open, but they will need something. Gonna see what they can do playing with their lead. Gonna start by making sure they clean out all the vision that P1 have very carefully put around this area.
Yeah, before Phoenix1 fight, they really want to have Zig be level 16 and have that rank 3 ultimate, but he is actually a bit of ways away from having that.
Now we're going to check with a hawk shot, trying to see where TSM are. P1 maybe cut them off in mid here. Also a little late. Just going to throw with the ball. The arrow hits him. Good equalizer as well. Then open up, and he flashes out just in time. Redemption down. Svenskeren throwing spikes.
Yep, throwing spikes, trying to get the slow. And now they're just trying to get mid-priority here. Maybe set up some bushes and push. You have to watch out. Hauntzer. Yeah, you can see Hauntzer's actually just playing towards the back line, playing where they can't push up because the threat of a flank is just too high.
Yeah, even 5v4. P1 don't feel comfortable. Bjergsen healed back up. He's going to run back down mid. Try and force something. In fact, Hauntzer looks for Arrow, wants to chase him, needs to hit him with the buckler, but Arrow got both summoners up, so it feels pretty safe.
Whereas P1, they have some members trying to at least continue to have vision on this top side and handing out blue buffs.
Sven, ooh, he looked for something. He popped the Ghost Blade. Might find an assassination. Barely misses out on slowing Inori. Good bit of brush to cover the retreat.
And take it out on the Wolves.
Here comes the dive. Oh, nope. Not yet. They're going to push instead. Good little rotation from TSM.
It's a big wave, and the wave clear is pretty much the shock blast. Inori?
Hauntzer just going in, zoning them all off the turret. Zig might have to join. He's got TP.
Oh!
Shockwave finds Adrian. That's a big kill. Inori chunked as well. Hauntzer. Not quite get him, but the turret goes down. That's a good pick. Support really do melt to these mages.
That was a sneaky ball there, just right in the middle of 2 people. Almost obliterates Inori, but Adrian just gets wiped out. A support life right there.
Well, TSM, they're going to start a Baron. That little blue trinket moved away. Biofrost is running
TP from behind. Zig does have ultimate. He doesn't have level 16 yet. Put down a ward. They know that he's in the backside. They put it on Bjergsen Turtle.
Going for that. It goes over to TSM. They smite it away, but the fight's going to break out. Turtle, he's low. Daisy's going in for him as well.
They want Bjergsen.
He flashes out Bjergsen. He's going to go down. Arrow firing away as well. Sven's very low. He's going to fall. P1 cleaning up the other end of this fight. Hauntzer is tanky, but he's not tanky enough. He's finally going to fall. Good snipe from Turtle, though, to maybe save the back end of the fight.
Oh, AD carry 2K16, but they're the only ones that survived. The teams are doing a great job of actually protecting their AD carries and going after these other priority targets. WildTurtle flashed out the back of the pit and still threw some arrows that came up big in this. That's a great equalizer onto both carries there, hitting both Bjergsen and WildTurtle, and they have to go to the back of the pit. Bjergsen doesn't have his flash, so he's ghosting, running in circles away from Zig. Gets clicked on, dies. WildTurtle has to go out the back right. And Arrow and we'll pick up Svenskeren. And then Zig here, he actually doesn't have to continue because I think Arrow does have enough. He didn't expect himself to get blown up there. So WildTurtle's the only one who gets to keep Baron, but they do get the gold from the Baron.
Yep, they take the turret as well. While TSM are off the respawn, so P1 get themselves a bit of extra gold. And again, the game's been very close as far as the gold totals go. TSM have one person with Baron. It's Turtle that managed to get away, so maybe they can get some damage done there. But it's been a pretty open map for a while, and it feels like TSM are playing a little slower. The Drake control's been good. That Baron fight was decent. Didn't quite do it 100% correctly, but at least they secured it.
Yeah, they got the pick onto Adrian, so they were thinking that, oh, the big ultimate we have to worry about, the AoE in the pit, aside from the rumbles, you know, it's down. We have that misfortune, it's gone. But TSM, they do it. They only have one member with it. And I want to talk about Turtle for a second, because that build, he has the Death's Dance now, so he's healing a bit off of the arrows. He's healing a bit off of the physical damage. And this is the lifesteal item that he's looking for, so he doesn't get blown up. It also makes it so that the damage ticks a little bit on you, as opposed to it all comes in one burst. So there is some reaction time added to when he's getting blown up.
Seems nice as TSM going to start a siege with the Baron. Thresh is trying to protect the turret, but the cannon minions locking on. Slowly but surely, the Baron will take damage. They're going to move forward, take out that first cannon, but Wave's pushing at least bottom for TSM.
Yeah. The fact that TSM have triple Ocean Drake means P1 just have to do this in a burst. That Shock Blast acceleration gate onto Turtle took him to about, 3-4. Zig got hit.
Shockwave damage is there. Biofrost gets hit up. Adrian lets it rip with the ultimate. That's not that much damage, and Jayce's gonna get killed here. Pulled into the team. Feels bad. And now that triple Ocean Drake's gonna start kicking in. TSM trying to catch someone rotating aggressively. Ooh, Hauntzer caught. I say that, he's Poppy. Pretty tanky.
Yeah, that Shock Blast. Not hitting anybody there. Fort.
Ooh, look at this huge wave.
Yeah, it's a big wave, just trying to get
Goodbye.
out. And out on it.
Bjergsen almost dead to the ulti there from Zig. Has to be careful, healed up by the Redemption. Turret's gonna go down. TSM might need to retreat though. Redemption are coming up for P1. They're gonna continue the fight. Hauntzer takes the lantern out. Svenskeren can't find a target. P1, no cooldowns really left. TSM take the turret and get away with it.
And they're gonna move straight towards that Mountain Drake here. And that'll be their 5th Drake. That's huge for them. The 2 mountains and having the regen means that they can just back off of this. Bjergsen pretty close already to half HP after the Honey Fruit on the Ocean Drake. And they're gonna pick up another. So it looks even worse for Phoenix1 as TSM. Oh, they're starting to put the final touches on this game.
Yep.
Try to close it out for themselves.
They've just built up so many advantages for themselves. It's not quite reflected in the gold lead. 6,000 up, still nice, although we are getting a little late, but those 5 Drakes.
5 Drakes is huge, but I do think that Phoenix1 have great chance in this with the way that Zig has been ultiing. It's been coming up huge, and that was almost 2 catches there from Inori. Inori threw out a root collar, and it almost hit WildTurtle. It was from the brush, and it was so close. If it had hit Turtle, may have been a kill there because he doesn't have his flash.
TSM, though, they have to play carefully around all the damage they've got built up.
I'm a marksman too, Sometimes you just gotta take it. He's actually just pathing by and took the red buff that was just sitting there on the ground.
He was hungry. It's been a long series.
Ooh, piece of candy. Sometimes you just gotta pick up the one that's there. You AD carry. Sometimes solo queue, you just, oh no, I took the buff.
Big sorry, didn't They're gonna clear these out. Baron it up for a little while, so TSM going to assault mid and top side. Hauntzer actually guiding the minions forward. Can assist the super minions. Baron buff has dropped off though. Don't believe Turtle has it anymore, so TSM gonna have to do this the honest way.
But there isn't really much to fight for that's outside of the base of Phoenix1 right now. Drake's not gonna be up for another 5 minutes.
What are you doing there, Ryu?
Dying slowly.
Looks like it. Maybe not that slowly either, depending on how much I can catch him. Chain of Corruption not there. Ryu gonna try and stand and fight.
He's gonna try to give him the runaround here. Chain of Corruption already used.
Slow's there.
Slow's gonna try to poke him down, whereas bottom lane, Hauntzer actually just used the ulti to get rid of Zig. Ryu's gonna try to turn!
He's looking for good. He gets it! Kill comes down. 1-for-1 trade. Nice play, Ryu.
He turned it around there. 4 people chasing him, and then the Poppy bottom Hauntzer had to blow his own flash there. So that's actually a summoner spell trade that's in favor of P1, but an assist on the back of TSM's kill, so it's worth more gold overall.
Well, it does delay the game a bit, which is probably nice for P1. They're happy to get whatever gold they can find.
Ryu Goes in the bush, hits Bjergsen there, even through the Locket shield. Gets the Thunderlords, just does so much damage right now.
TSM have to play a little carefully to maneuver the game to where they want it to be. Again, Turtle going to get the minions pushing through top. Hauntzer was doing nice work on bot, and now he's got 4 tank items, so it's going to be even harder to take down.
Yep, and now Phoenix1, they really need control of their jungle back on the top side. They'd have control of the bottom side, and that's where they were fighting Hauntzer just a moment ago. But Baron's about to come up in 38 seconds.
Pretty obvious what the next big moment's probably going to be.
Yeah. Looking at
Biofrost, Adrian, no! Hauntzer going to slam in, but that's not enough. Adrian is very lucky there was no carry around.
Yeah, if Svenskeren was there to jump in with an Edge of Night or something, he has the Guardian Angel, so killing Svenskeren, you got to do it twice. You even got to get that spell shield off. It's going to be rough for Phoenix1. Arrow picking up a little bit more as he was getting those. I can't. He's almost 16. There we go. He's got 16 for the arrow.
It's nice for him, but again, the fight will be around the vision and the actual objective itself. TSM maybe already calling to start it. They know they've got no vision for P1, so they're actually going to go at least start this off here.
Use the Ashe hawk shot saw.
Now they know.
They're throwing it out on Turtle.
Is out. Turtle has to be careful. Hauntzer needs to line up a big ultimate here. Misses Inori. WildTurtle's going to get healed by the redemption as Daisy went in for it. Hauntzer though still on the front line, making sure he's okay. Zig snared up. That's going to be a kill, slammed into the wall by Hauntzer.
No arrow used there as well from Arrow to try and get a pick, try and get a catch. They just try to get mid priority. Inori hanging off on the side, looking for the poke.
Yeah, leaning pretty hard on these 3 oceans, but they're going to give it up. Yeah, they know top's pushing, so they're going to run for it.
Hautzer's going to zone on the right side here. He might try to loop around Arrow, but everybody from TSM is going to go to the left, try to actually go and get this top turret. This may be an inhibitor as well, with 30 seconds on Zig.
Got big ultimates up as well, so P1 cannot overstay their welcome trying to defend. Svenskeren low, Hauntzer going to defend once more. Adrian's ulti, not enough. Hook finds Ivern, Inori played back up, Arrow hits Bjergsen, Arrow trying to do the damage, Adrian goes forward, Bjergsen going to stay alive for a little while longer, the shields were enough. The inhibitor should fall down here as well. They need a couple more autos, there's Hauntzer making sure it goes down.
Ryu looking for some damage there, only hits Biofrost, doesn't actually splash on the turtle there. That's going to be the back for Bjergsen. That's going to also be that down and top inhibitor.
P1 are not making this easy on TSM, by the way. TSM consistently forcing fights to Baron, smartly pushing off, but P1 are always there to defend, fighting for every little piece of ground they can get despite the disadvantage they have, and continuing to manipulate side waves as well. This, despite the difference, will be a tight final game.
Absolutely. And Inori, not having his best of games right now. He got Svenskeren off to a great start because Svenskeren had a really good setup and countered the Ivern invade, and that's what really got P1 in this awful position. It's just Inori has been getting caught. It's a squishy Ivern. Even though his build is really supportive right now, he has a lot of utility to try and keep people alive. It is still an incredibly squishy, low defensive champion. No escapes, nothing of that like. He's basically there to buff up Ryu and Arrow. And he's going a little too far. He's overreaching. He's getting caught.
TSM have also been very patient in this game, but we're about to reach a large point in objectives. Elder Dragon up in 10 seconds.
Elder Dragon up very shortly. 5 seconds on that, and they're just chilling in a bush. Scuttle Crab control. That looks like it's a Scuttle Crab for P1, and it is.
Biofrost caught. Gonna be okay. Bjergsen with the shields. Gonna keep the relatively tanky Thresh safe.
That gives mid priority to TSM, so now you have to walk all the way around if you're P1 and cut this wave off here. But you have to guess right as well, because they could go straight for the Elder Dragon, exactly. Ashe helps you in that regard. It's hard to appreciate how much is actually giving to P1 in terms of knowledge when you're spectating, because you don't see it reveal, and then you're like, oh, aha. But it's definitely helping in this Ashe.
Ooh, they actually stayed for it. Hauntzer and Bjergsen, the unlikely duo.
These are the two that you can have just sit here and pick it up, and that would be the Elder Dragon with 5 on it. 5 break Elder Dragon. Crazy.
Good adjustment from TSM. Last game, they went to Elder Dragon, and it really cost them in a trade they didn't want. This time, they successfully 2-man. They've got the wave set up, and now they can find a fight, push down a lane, find a catch, or take the Baron. All of these things, if they can find them, will happen remarkably quickly. TSM is so strong at this point.
It is 270 true damage burn. one of the biggest that I've ever seen, one of the biggest possible as well. Very close to being.
Look at this Baron. They're going to just shred it.
Well, it's like triple mountain at this
dead.
point,
It's
too.
actually dead. TSM forced onto the Baron and take it down. Hauntzer absorbs the arrow. Daisy's looking for some knockups, so that's going to take her out. Daisy, run! It's not worth your life. Hauntzer's finding the backline instead. Daisy running back towards the team. It's a tragedy. Daisy's down.
She's never had a chance, man.
She'll be back.
Yeah, in about 10 seconds. super low cooldown.
Maybe not in time. TSM at all bot wave pushing. Elder Dragon and Baron now ticking away. Top lane super minions causing problems. Phoenix1 needs to mount a miracle defense, almost 10,000 gold down.
Exactly, miracle defense to try and stop TSM from getting their revenge on both, Coach Fly for Worlds, but also Phoenix1 for ruining the perfect regular season in the summer 2016. Turtle eats a root collar.
TSM might be going for the throat. Adrian's ulti down. Inori hooked up. Zig hits the wrong target. Good pick there, and now Hauntzer leaping onto Adrian, has the lantern to get out. Shields are there from Bjergsen. Poke continues to land in his Ryu's forced to flash out of the way. Bjergsen needs the next hour of redemption, heals them up a bit, and TSM, they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, there's just so much damage here. They're just gonna try to muscle their way in. Daisy's back in.
Daisy back into the fray.
Inori!
Aaron looking for a pick, he wants Inori! He's gonna find it, leaps out of the way. And TSM letting the super minions do a bit more work. They're getting chunked down pretty low. But P1 just don't have anything left. TSM, Nexus wide open. Biofrost looks for the play. It's going to cost him. It's Sven leaps in. And TSM 2-1 versus Phoenix1.
And TSM push Phoenix1 down the standings and take second place.
We expected it to be a close series, and it was. Three great games from both these teams, but TSM showing that maybe it's a bit more experience. Maybe it's a bit more time together. They talk so much about how important it is to them. Their roster is all together, is on the same page, speaks the same language. And it pays off there. TSM still looking good. Will sit in second, at least for now. And P1, they've shown so much improvement, but not enough today at least to best TSM.
Yep. And the Kha'Zix ended up being a big problem for them. The Shen in game 2 from Hauntzer. And then in game 3, the Kha'Zix start versus the Ivern. They picked the Jayce over it, and Ryu wasn't able to get as much done with that Jayce first pick as you would hope he would be able to for that return.
Like I said, I love the draft from P1. It was so creative.
Yeah, it was.
But it was definitely a difficult comp to try and pull off there in Phoenix1. I like that they're willing to play those sort of things against TSM. But at the end of the day, TSM's comp may be a little simpler to use, and Hauntzer on tanks in particular showed up this series. Both the games they won, he was a huge part in their win.
Yeah, I think he was a huge part in both those wins, like you said, as well. And I think Svenskeren in this game was a big hero. I think there was somebody who was like a little bit even more clutch than him, and I think that's Biofrost. Biofrost hooked to end up saving WildTurtle. Biofrost's last few hooks to pull Inori in, and that last one to hit Zig, and then have the ultimate come off afterwards from Bjergsen in the Shockwave. So there were some clutch hooks to actually end the game or prevent it from actually getting snowballed. And he was pretty much their primary engage tool, considering that they had an Orianna and they had the Poppy to try and jump in. But the hook is really what gets you that pick.
I think Biofrost has played multiple Thresh games already, and he's looked good every time. It's
still playing,
clearly a champion he's comfortable with, despite it not being super in meta right now. And it matters. Maybe it's just TSM need him to step up a bit more and make some more plays. He had his rookie split last year, looked very good. Now coming into his sophomore year, looking still just as fine.
Yeah, and there were some nerves or what we were seeing at Worlds from him. And so that's what he'll be looking forward to, is if he ever goes back to international competition, what does it look like for him? What is his performance like there? Is he going to have those rock steady hands and being able to deliver and make plays like that too? Because those are very bold. And we see sometimes your bold moves, like what Inori was trying to do not pay off, and they actually backfire.
Yeah, they did backfire in that one. But for more on the win, let's check in with Freak and TSM support Biofrost.